Good day everyone, and welcome to the Transport for Sydney Vlogs channel. I'm currently at Central Station. In this video, I'll be showing you guys platforms 13 and 14, which have officially reopened. Now when I say reopened, I mean revenue services are now using these platforms since Monday this week. There is an Oscar due to pull into platform 14. In a few minutes, I can see it in the distance. In the meantime, I'll do a walk along platform 14, as this is the first time I'm walking on this platform since this platform reopened a few weeks ago when the fences were taken down so you can actually walk on this platform. However, I didn't get to it until right now. So yeah, I'll just walk to the end of platform 14, and then by the time the Oscar should be slowly crawling into the platform. So just here, you've got a bank of 2 escalators behind this column here. That takes you down to the north-south concourse. Connects with Central Walk as well. So you've got a bank of 2 escalators there. In the middle section of the platform, you've got the lift. And further down, you've got another bank of 2 escalators, which also take you down to the north-south concourse. So the lift was built quite some time ago, but obviously it remained closed until the area of platform 14 had actually opened to the public. Got the Oscar pulling into platform 14 now. This train was an empty run from Hornsby Maintenance Centre and will form a South Coast Line service to Kiama. As I mentioned before, you've got the lift here, and here if you actually go down to the north-south concourse, you'll be able to look up. So you've got these glazed floor panels here, and that allows natural light to permeate through into the concourse below. Got those glazed panels there as well. And here is the other bank of 2 escalators, which, as I mentioned earlier, also takes you down to the north-south concourse. And from there you can access Central Walk and the other suburban platforms. Got a repeater signal up here. And as you approach the country end of the platform, you can see numerous new light poles. You can also see the same ones on the island platforms of 13 and 12, as well as 11 and 10. This building here that you can see on platform 14 occupies what used to be the corridor leading into platform 15. However, platform 15 was not reinstated as this service building here was needed for the Sydney Metro platforms below for infrastructure, equipment, cabling, and yeah, basically all the infrastructure needed to power the Sydney Metro part of Central Station. So as a result, platform 15 was not reinstated, but platforms 13 and 14 were, once the underground metro platforms were fully built. And yeah, these are these two platforms right here. So as I mentioned earlier, since this Monday, platforms 13 and 14 are now in use for passenger services. I had a look at AnyTrip and I noticed that platform 13 is not actually in use during the morning, but is in use from afternoons. Most of the trains using platform 13 are the evening peak T9 services, which run between Central Terminal and Hornsby via the Northern Line, while platform 14 seems to be in use from morning to the evening and is used by the hourly South Coast Line services, which run between Central and Kiama. So that's the current weekday timetable for platforms 13 and 14. However, this is subject to change, and I'm sure it probably will change later down the track as new timetables are implemented. On weekends, these platforms aren't used as much. However, that will vary from weekend to weekend depending on track work on other parts of the network and whether other parts of Central Station are closed. So there may be weekends where more trains use these platforms, particularly on weekends where the City Underground is closed for track work. Normally on such weekends, the Western and Northern Line services start and end their journeys at Central. So on those weekends when the City Underground is closed, you might see T1 Western and T9 Northern Line services use these two newly reinstated platforms. But other than that, most of the intercity services are still using the existing platforms here at Central Terminal. None of the Central Coast or Blue Mountains Line services are using platforms 13 and 14 at this stage, but again, that is subject to change as timetables are updated over time. So I'll just walk towards the end of the platform where the fences are. Later on, we'll see a train pull into platform 13 from the south coast. This train is roughly 20 minutes late right now due to temporary speed restrictions at several sections of the corridor along the south coastline, which is a result of the cyclonic weather that we've had the past few days. But it has cleared up now. Also, that 4-car Oscar that pulled into the platform earlier, there should be a Kayama service. It's due to depart at 2:23 p.m. So I'll film that one depart, as well as the other train coming from the south coast, which will pull into platform 13, as I do want to get at least one train off both of these platforms in this video. So the Kayama bound Oscar on platform 14 is due to depart now. However, it is currently stopped at a red signal. And if you zoom up ahead, you can see that the tracks leading in and out of platforms 13 and 14 here do merge on the country end of the platform. The South Coast Line train that's due to pull into platform 13 probably has a green signal right now, as that train is only a few minutes away, passing Redfern Station. So it could be that the train coming from the south coast will pull into platform 13 first before the train on platform 14 can depart. Talking about South Coast Line services, I'm anticipating that at a later time this year, once there is a timetable change, we might see South Coast Line services return to Central Terminal permanently, as for many years now, trains on this line have run along the eastern suburbs to start and end their journey at Bondi Junction, particularly during peak hours and on weekends. However, with these two new platforms now providing more capacity at Central Terminal, it might allow and should allow for South Coast Line trains to return to Central Terminal permanently. As to when that will happen, not entirely sure yet. It might coincide with when the Marion D sets start running South Coast Line services, or it could coincide with that timetable change when Erskineville and St. Peters will start being serviced by the T4 line, and the T8 line services will move away from Sydenham. But yeah, no date has been confirmed yet as to when those changes to the timetable will be implemented. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But until then, platforms 13 and 14 will be used not too frequently, I guess. But yeah, I'm sure in the future we'll see these platforms become more used more often. The Oscar train coming from the south coast is now approaching platform 13. It's an 8-car set. This train will dwell on platform 13 for around an hour before departing on another South Coast Line service down to Kayama. Alrighty people, that will be all for this video, so I'm going to wrap this one up now. Thanks for watching, please subscribe to the channel, like and favorite this video, and I will see you next time.